This is a 1985 Honda XR600. I want to get the fuel tank off and clean the fuel petcock, and I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. It isn't necessary to remove the fuel tank to get the petcock off, but there's other things I want to do to the bike, so I want to get that off. The first thing we need to do is remove these bolts inside this wheel well underneath the seat to get the seat off, so do that first. Here's the right side bolt that holds the seat on. And here's the left side. Once you get the bolts out, you can just lift up the back of the seat and pull it backwards and take it off. It's actually clipped on right here, so when you lift up the back, you have to pull back to remove this from underneath the frame piece. So now that we have the seat off, I got to get this tank off. Got to remove this this plastic rubberized piece that holds the rear of the tank on, and then on the front there's two bolts. There's one on each side that needs to come off. This just lifts up and unclip it from the tank. You can see it's at one time it was broken. Somebody put a zip tie on here, which works. So take that off. This is a left front tank bolt. It's 10 millimeters. The seat bolts were 12 millimeter. Just take that out. Here's a bolt for the left side of the tank. It also holds this, it's got a horn. This bike was originally, it's a dirt bike, but it was converted for street use. So the horn's an add-on. Just let that dangle. Before we can lift the tank off, this is your fuel petcock. It controls the flow of the fuel. You can shut it off, or you can put it in the on position or the reserve position. Got it in the off position, which is where you want it. You want to remove this fuel line. Also, this is a good time to check the fuel line. If it's hard or brittle, or if you see cracks or anything, you should replace it. This fuel line's kind of hard. It's just not. It's kind of hardening. I'm going to replace this. But the first thing you want to do is take this hose clamp and slide it out of the way. And you can take a screwdriver. You also want to be careful when you're using a screwdriver to remove these, because you can damage the fuel line. One thing I like to do is you can take a pair of pliers and kind of grab it lightly and then twist it. If you can just get it to break free of the petcock, it slides off much easier. So then just pull it back. And there you go. Now I can lift the fuel tank off. Now that I got everything disconnected on the fuel tank, I can just lift it off and take it off. Here's something interesting that I didn't see right away. Underneath the seat, you can see where a mouse has been camping out, and it ate a hole through the air filter box. So that's another thing I've got to take care of. Pull that off and inspect it. Probably ate the air filter too, or tore it into pieces. Now that I got the fuel drained out of the tank, I'm going to take this petcock off. It's held on by 2 Phillips screws on this particular Model XR. I've got some rags down here to protect the tank, and go ahead and remove it. And there it is. This is a fuel petcock. This is the yellow piece here is the filter. It's not dirty at all, and I'm not surprised because the fuel that I drained out of the tank didn't smell at all. It smelled fresh. Also, what I did when I was draining the fuel is I opened up the petcock to the on position and made sure that the fuel was flowing out, which it is. So I know that's all good. If this was dirty in any way, you could use a soft bristle brush, scrub it, and then use compressed air at a low PSI to clean this filter off. You want to be real careful, especially if your filter's old. A high pressure PSI air blast will break that filter. So there's a rubber gasket here. You want to make sure there's no cracks in that, and that it's still flexible and not brittle. On some of these petcocks, they have a bowl at the bottom here, and you unscrew the bowl, kind of like on a carburetor bowl. The shape of it is kind of like a carburetor bowl. You take the bowl off, and underneath there's a filter, and you have access to the petcock lines where you can blow it out. But again, be careful. Don't use high pressure air blasts. But on this one, there's nothing else to remove. It's pretty much sealed in. The face cap on this petcock is riveted. Some of them have screws where you can take off and remove and clean out the insides. But this, like I said, this is really clean. Just going to make sure that the surface here where it mates with the fuel tank is clean, and clean that area of the fuel tank, and reassemble everything. I've got quite a few more videos to make with this bike. I've got a lot of things I need to do to this bike, so I'll be making that in the future. So anyway, I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you for watching.